I'm Damian Hughes from Hypnosister, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the gear that I use to record my debut EP, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the gear that I use live. Let's go! This guitar is Bishop, as you can see. It's an Ibanez Jet King JTK2 model. I use this guitar to record about 90% of the guitars in the EP. I got it from a music shop in Castleford called Galaxy Music for £140, which is really cheap for one of these. I was looking for a backup guitar to, I used to use the Hammond M65 as my main guitar, but I use that for dadgad tuning now. So this is the main. I just sort of fell in love with it really, and it's the ultimate guitar. I've been trying to find another one so I could have a backup, like an adequate backup to this. But whenever I'm like lucky enough to find them, they're always like 300 quid. But that's good because that means I got a really good deal on mine. I'm a big fan of like Fender offset guitar, like Jaguars and Jazz Masters, and this sort of has that look. And but it plays like really modern, like a heavy metal guitar, like an Ibanez. And that's what I like. That, like the practicality and just sort of cool looks, really. It's been my main guitar for a few years now through various bands and projects. I've just really gotten used to like how it feels and how it sounds, and you know, it's just I've become one with it. It's become my best friend. The pickups are just stock. These switches, you can. They're coil splits, and I always have the net coil split, so it's like as if there's a single coil, but when you coil split, it doesn't sound exactly like a normal single coil. It sounds really tinny. I like that because it just cuts like a stabbing knife, and that's what I want. Like, I'm not bothered about all this like warmth malarkey, because all of that just gets swallowed up by the bass in the song anyway. So it's really heavy. I don't know how heavy it is exactly, but it's heavy enough to keep my back in constant pain throughout every tour that I've done with it. The scrunchie is just to mute the strings when I'm recording Leeds, because I'm a cheater. And I've got some little stickers. I've got the Linux Penguin, I don't know how you say it. The wherein sticker, which is the big company from the Alien franchise, if you know that. And this says Fire Walk With Me, which is a Twin Peaks reference, because I really like David Lynch stuff. Yeah, so that's my main guitar. This is my backup guitar. It's a Strat copy, as you can see. I'm not sure what brand it is, but it's really nice. I got it from a friend of mine who runs a guitar shop in Pontefract, in exchange for some video work, so it technically didn't cost me a penny, which is great. When he got it in, I think it was black, but he resprayed it this purple. The pickups are Damasio's, I think. I don't know what exactly they are, but apparently they're Damasio's. It's got scrunchie on it as well, and a few stickers. I've got a little eyeball, and Planet Express from Futurama. So yeah, that's my Strat. Another thing that features heavily on the EP is Marshall Drive Master pedal. This is part of a series, or was part of a series of Marshall pedals that included the Bluesbreaker, the Governor, the Shredmaster, and least popular of all, the Drive Master. It's meant to sound like a JCM 800, but it does sound like a JCM 800, and I really like JCM 800, so it's good. It's not in fantastic shape at the moment as it is, if I'm honest. I should probably start looking for something to replace it, at least for live stuff, so that this can just sort of sit at home and just enjoy the relic status that it deserves. So yeah, they're like the main components of the EP sound. My live setup's pretty simple. I don't drive, so I have to go everywhere on the train and the megabus. So I basically just take the Jet King and my pedal board, strap it to a trolley, and away I go to the gig. So let's have a look at my pedal board. Right, so this is my pedal board. First thing is the pitch black, the Korg pitch black tuner. No real reason that it's that specific one, that's just the one that I've got. Then it goes into this Boss LS2 line selector, as I run two different effects loops. The first one is, it's just this Digitech Supernatural reverb. That's the only one in the first effects loop, and I just use that for sort of spacier, sort of clean sounds like this. And I also use it for sort of big ambient pad sounds, sort of. And then that goes back into the LS2. On the second effects loop, it goes to the POG first, which I use for just sort of octavey stuff. I use two different sounds, either just the full, just one octave up, which is like, or I use the octave up, and also with the dry signal. Yep, and then it goes to the Digitech synthware, which is, it's sort of like my main big octave sound. So it's like a synth octave. It's got this like it's like wah 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 sort of sound with it. It's like this. Yeah. And then it goes into this Digitech Digiverb, which is it's not like a nice sort of lush reverb. It's just sort of like an old. It sounds like an old 12-bit reverb, a bit like an Alesis MIDI verb or something. But it sounds really good to run like into an overdrive or a distortion, so you can get like My Bloody Valentine sounds when you use because I use the gated reverb on this, which sort of, so you can do. Sort of stuff. Then it goes into this cheap GLX equalizer, which I just use it to scoop mids out and bring the signal down. So it sort of works like when it's on, it brings the level down going into the overdrive. So it kind of works like rolling the volume off your guitar a little bit, but it's just there in a pedal. So if you're playing something and you don't have time to go and turn the knob down, you just hit that and it just sort of cleans it up. So very useful. And then that goes into the Marshall Drive Master, which we've covered. I've got my little tin for my plectrums velcroed onto that, which is very practical. And then it goes to the Boss DD3 delay, which is just set up for sort of a normal sort of delay sound. then that goes back into the LS2, completing the second effects loop, and then that goes into this Palmer Pocket amp, which is basically just an amp simulator with a cab simulator, and I've got it set to emulate sort of a vintage Fender type thing, which is what I use when logistics are such that I can use the big rig, but this is really good for just sort of getting about like easily. It sounds really good. You just sort of plug it into you just DI it, it goes to the desk and comes out front of house, and I get my sound through my monitor. It sounds really good, I think. And I power everything with this MXR ISO brick, which is just an isolated power supply. It was the cheapest. It's fully isolated, but it's the cheapest one that I could find that was fully isolated, because all the other ones are like really expensive. But it's just because it has this little tiny adapter thing rather than like a big kettle lead. So yeah, it works fine though. But yeah, that's my pedal board. And then the last thing in this magical gear journey is the Jamman Solo XT, which is what I use to set my send the tracks to the front of house. It's got two outputs, so you can have you can run things stereo. But what I do is I send one with all the stuff, all the instruments, and then a separate one with the backing vocals, because I just don't like having backing vocals in my monitor, so I just send them both and say, take that out of my monitor please, I don't want it. And that's it. That's the full rig. Pros and cons of using this rig. Pros is that it's it's pretty small, it's pretty compact. Which is really important to me because I get to gigs on like the megabus and the train, so if I can just strap a few things to a trolley and just get on a train, and it enables me to gig quite easily. Cons are obviously you don't have all the volume of the screaming amps behind you and like full big just huge sound on stage that gets you like really amped up, but I've been doing this for a while now, and I've gotten used to it. It's fine. I mean, the pros far outweigh the cons, so I'm happy. I'm happy. Best gear goes wrong story. Nothing has really gone terribly wrong during Hypnosister. In one of my last bands, there was a gig opening for a much bigger band. I think it might have been one of the biggest gigs we've done at the time, and yeah, some stuff went wrong. Like everything went completely smooth in sound check, and everything was just great. And then we finished sound check, and then we were gonna go on like half an hour later. So just left everything on stage. Everything's there. Everything's just ready. And then it came to stage time, and I was like really nervous. And went on, and my amp had managed to completely stop working in the half an hour between finishing soundcheck and starting the gig. So we got on there and we were just starting, and we were just like, oh god, my amp doesn't work, what do I do? And I didn't really know what to do, and I told the other guys like, my amp's not working, so like, oh god, what do I do? So everybody else just sort of kept making like noise, and thinking like, oh yeah, we'll just make noise, like somebody will come on and we'll try and sort it. And it just took like, I think it took like 5 or 6 minutes or something to get it working again. So the audience is just like watching us like first band on, and it's just droves of just noise and noise and noise, and they must have thought like, oh, is this the gig? Is this what they do? But eventually, the technicians came and helped me sort it out, and swapped the amp, and the show started. About 8 minutes of noise into it, so that was terrifying. As soon as I got off the stage, I went to the toilet and threw up. It shook me up that much. Yeah, that was the worst. So yeah, that's my gear. I've been Damian Hughes from Hypnosister. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.